Hey everyone, this is Wake Angel 2001, and the Sonic Boom is back for Season 2! Not that Cartoon Network would ever want you to know that, because they moved the time slot even further back to 6 a.m., and there has not been a single commercial advertisement announcing its return. Yep, it's just like with Transformers, Robots in Disguise, which also made its return last week at 6:30 in the morning. Basically, it's Cartoon Network doing everything it can to get these two shows canceled because they have the potential to have everybody love them and want to buy merchandise off of them. And if they had to put them in better time slots, then that means they wouldn't be able to air 6 hours of Teen Titans Go every day. But I'm not here to rant about how stupid the network is. I'm here to talk about the episode. There has been a huge improvement in the CGI. This show looked fantastic. It's like the Sonic Boom Season 1 was a Wii game and this is a Wii U game. Cutscene quality, I'm saying. But yeah. So, this episode, let's give a quick synopsis. It starts with everybody waiting in an autograph line for Tommy Thunder, almost forgot, who is a movie star in this world's universe. I believe in the first episode, there was him dodging lasers on like a show that Tails was watching. So this guy, he's like a big famous actor, like the Sylvester Stallone of this universe in his younger days. He's been in a whole bunch of awesome action-packed movies, and everybody loves him, and he's celebrated as a hero. And he's kind of a self-absorbed douche, always referring to himself in the third person. I mean, he's not a bad guy. Like, literally, he's not a bad guy. Because that's the thing in the Sonic Boom universe. You never know when there's evil enthusiasts. But no, he's not an evil enthusiast. He's just kind of obnoxious. So, so he's sitting there giving out autographs and his stock catchphrase, "Maybe you can be heroes someday," failing to even recognize Sonic and his crew, who I'm pretty sure they should be pretty famous, at least locally. I'm not sure if in this universe Sonic is world famous. Like, in the proper universe, Sonic is world famous, but in the Boom universe, he might still be a local hero. While signing the autographs, the cop comes and says that there's an Eggman attack before running like the cowardly beaver that he is. And it turns out that he feels like he got gypped by the baker because he wanted a baker's dozen, and they only gave him 12. A baker's dozen is actually 13. I know this because I remember way back when I was in like the 6th grade, I was presented with a math problem where they said that we were supposed to work with a math unit based off of the idea of a word problem where we were told we had a baker's dozen of a thing. And of course, me and almost everyone else did the calculation as if it was 12, because everyone knows a dozen is 12. A baker's dozen is 13. I mean, how are a bunch of 11-year-olds supposed to know that? Like that was the first time I'd ever heard the term baker's dozen. Apparently the secret message of that lesson was that we had to learn to ask for clarification if we didn't understand something. But you know who should know what a baker's dozen is? A baker. So Sonic and his friends come in, and Sonic, of course, beats up some B-bots using a day-old baguette, which is you know, a suitably hilarious way to take out the bad guys, I'm not gonna lie. And as Eggman flies away, he's shouting, "Why do all my social interactions end this way?" Tommy Thunder, seeing how awesome Sonic is, decides that he wants to shadow Sonic around because he's a bit of a method actor, and as a method actor he wants to actually learn how to be a hero so that he can act like a better hero. Earlier, Sonic had been saying that the heroic acts that we see Tommy Thunder do in his movies are often a bit unrealistic. You know, because in a world where a hedgehog who can run faster than the speed of sound can leap hundreds of feet in the air, spin around until it becomes a blue ball, and then destroy robots made out of solid metal by jumping on them, you know, the stuff that Tommy Thunder does in the movie is a bit unrealistic. So Sonic at first refuses, of course, and Tommy Thunder tries bribing him with a watermelon carved into Sonic's face, which is a little bit creepy because Sonic has a really wide smile. Given how close this episode is airing to Halloween, it might be a tiny little reference to Sonic EXE. Which is about as much acknowledgement as I'm ever willing to give Sonic EXE. Although I'm probably giving it way too much credit. But Sonic still refuses him, so Tommy makes the appeal to Sonic's friends. He takes them to the VIP room in Mayburger. The VIP room actually serves edible food and has plates that are almost good enough to eat off of. Plus, when Dave gives you service, he doesn't sigh or roll his eyes because you're important and he actually cares about you. So, having buttered up Sonic's friends this way, Amy is able to convince Sonic to let Tommy follow him around for a few days to see how this goes. And of course, Tommy's constantly asking questions and being obnoxious. I mean, yes, he's an obnoxious douche, but I will give him the credit in that he actually cares about what he's doing. He is an actor. He wants to portray a believable hero in his movies, and he is willing to go and do the research so that he can actually, so he can actually play his role convincingly. So I will give him that much. Doesn't stop him from being an annoying douche, though. So, we get a bank robbery. We get a lot of action scenes in this episode, probably because we're introducing a character who's an action star. It's the Weasel Gang who's stealing TVs. And apparently the technological advancement of Sonic's world is about 1996, given the way that these TVs look, all cuboid and with small screens. So everybody works together, Styx jumps up on a conveniently located teeter-totter with an X drawn on it for Amy to use her hammer to launch her. Knuckles catches the TVs as they're thrown in the air so there's no collateral damage. Tails and Sonic work together to beat the guys up. And then Sonic ties them together with the rope. And that's when Tommy comes in and says and offers some suggestions for how it could go. So he unties the Weasel Gang, who are starstruck because they're also fans of Tommy. And then he reties them in using a technique that he was described. And that's when Soar the Eagle and News Crew come in, and he takes credit for stopping all the Weasel Gang. To which Sonic is pretty darn livid. But everybody already loved Tommy, so they're willing to believe him, and he appears on Comedy Chimp's late night show, and he talks, and he calls out Eggman, like, I could take on 1,000 Eggmans, I'm calling you out. And Eggman, who was just baking some muffins on a Tuesday night, says, oh, I'm going to have to address this, aren't I? And he's just in his pajamas making muffins, and he's like, I'm gonna have to put on pants. Eggman, I know how you feel. There is nothing I hate more than being nice and cozy and relaxed in my house, and then something comes up where I have to put on pants and leave. I'm actually recording this vlog in my pajamas right now. I put on this shirt as a courtesy to you guys because you don't want to see me in my tank top underneath. So, of course, while Tommy is walking home, Eggman comes and attacks him with his obliterator robot, some crab bots, and, his hovercraft that shoots lasers. And Tommy tries to say it was all big talk, and Eggman's like, yeah, I suppose. On the other hand, and then he orders obliterator bot to kill him. So Tommy dodges some laser blasts. To his credit, at least he's capable of that much. But when he sees Sonic standing there looking all smug, he prostrates himself before Sonic, and for the first time in the episode, he starts using personal pronouns. I'm not a hero, I'm just an actor. I'm so sorry I took all that credit. Please help me. My name's not even Tommy. It's, Erwin Fertelmeister. Yeah, I wrote that down because I knew I was going to forget it, but it is hilarious. His real name is Erwin Fertelmeister. Yep. I think there's a Jewish people in Hollywood joke to make it that, but I'm not going to get political here. So, of course, hearing the apologies, Sonic runs and he defeats the robots in another pretty cool action scene. And then Eggman flies away of his own free will because his muffins are done. And that's when the news reporters come in again, saying that Tommy is a great hero. And Sonic, and when Tommy goes right back to his stage persona, Sonic, when they put the microphone up to Sonic, he sighs and then says that and then he willingly gives the credit to Tommy, saying he's a great hero because he realizes that this isn't about Sonic. Tommy has fans who look up to him and admire him, and he doesn't want to, for the benefit of all the people who like him, he's gonna, give the credit. So good on Sonic. So Tommy says that he's gonna take what he's learned these past few days shadowing Sonic and make an even more realistic movie. And then he gives a hilarious, over the top sounding title. It's gonna take place in space. Realism. So that was pretty much the episode. Oh, and by the way, all Sonic's friends saw Sonic get the credit. They praised him for holding back. Oh, and they go back to Mayburger and ask for the VIP room again. And Dave says, we don't have a VIP room, and we never did. To which Styx replies, I knew it. Okay, so this was a cute little episode. I mean, it hardly seems like an epic season opener, but you gotta remember, this is a comedy show, and it did have some good action sequences, so, we get to see Sonic doing actiony stuff, which is always good to see in the first episode, because that's the thing that you want to introduce. I really love the improvements to the CGI, that's one thing. This episode just looked fantastic in HD. I just loved all the little character moments. I mean, there was a point where Sonic was chastising Tommy for being an egomaniac, while, we all know Sonic is a bit of an egomaniac himself. Because, he introduced, there's no room for that kind of behavior on Team Sonic. And friends, I was going to credit you, not individually. Styx's mannerisms were great, like when Tommy asks if he's gonna follow Sonic around, Styx replies, people always follow me around. Because she's a crazy paranoid, of course. I love Styx's line at the end of the episode. That was probably my favorite line from the whole thing. Like when she says there never was, like I knew it. People, poor Styx. If she was in any kind of therapy for her rampant paranoia, every episode would undo months of work. Oh, poor Styx. I really like Styx. I really think she's a great breakout character for this comedy-centric show. She would have been a bit obnoxious if this was more of a drama, like the Saturday morning Sonic cartoon from the 1990s, but for the tone of this series, Styx is wonderful. She fits in perfectly, and I love it. And there's also other little shout-outs to game stuff, like when Sonic is upset that Tommy's constantly following him around, I can't believe I have this annoying guy following me. And they're like, hey, not that annoying. Because Tails, he follows Sonic around the games, reference. So yeah, we get lots of wonderful references, the lines are wonderful, the CGI is hugely improved, and the show is just great. Yeah, I just wish that the network actually cared about it, because, 6 a.m. Saturday morning, no one's gonna do that. I mean, I have to work a morning shift, but even then, when I have to get to the store by 9 a.m., I don't wake up at 6. It's just no one's gonna watch this show live. I mean, there are some dedicated people who would set their alarms, but first of all, without commercial advertisements, I didn't even know it came back. I found out today, and caught it on demand because fortunately my cable service put it on demand nice and quick. But my VCR crapped out on me a few weeks ago, so I can't even record the episodes anymore. I can only hope that the cable service will be quick to put them on demand as they air, like they did today. So, yeah, rejoice, it's the turn of the Sonic Boom vlogs. I'm really hoping that this season has some great stuff in order. So this is Wake Angel 2001 signing out.